Hey guys, Mark here. I just want to welcome you to my June 2012 niche fragrance haul. This is an epic haul. I got 32 niche bottles to basically unwrap and smell. I'll give you my first impression on these fragrances on my channel. I got fragrances all over the place. I got fragrances that I've been wanting to get for years now, and hard to find fragrances. I got really lucky this time off. I really felt like I found a lot of jewels that I've been wanting to get for a while. Namely this guy right here, Prada Cuir Ambre. I'm gonna let you guys know about this one that I've been wanting to get for a while. This guy right here, Armani Bois d'Essence. Those two were fragrances that I've been wanting to get for a long time, just really hard to find. A lot of fragrances in this haul that have been, hyped up on Facebook or on YouTube. Sartorial by Penhaligon's has been kind of getting a lot of love lately. Sushi Imperial by 1920, that one's kind of been hyped up. Of course, Tom Ford's Lavender Palm. So there's a lot of fragrances for a lot of different tastes. Some bottles here are like my first bottle from that fragrance house, and then of course this haul was mainly to build up my collection. You're gonna see a lot of fragrance houses that I got 3, 4, even 5 bottles in this haul, just to build up the collection. I just felt like I was lacking in that fragrance house. By Kilian is one of them. Creed is one of them. I got 5 Creeds in this haul. Artisan Parfumeur, Hermes Essence, Tom Ford. So you're going to see a lot of fragrance houses that are getting 2, 3, 4, even 5 bottles from those houses in this haul. So I'm very excited. I think this fragrance haul has high quality fragrances, and of course some that could be snoozers in the future on my channel. So let's get to it. Let's tackle my first impressions on my haul. Again, these videos are a great example for the buyer. First impression videos are great for me to go back onto, just because don't judge a fragrance by your first sniff. I always say sample, sample, sample. I never usually tell a subscriber to sniff out fragrances and buy them right away or blind buy them. That is a bad thing. Kids, don't do what I do. But yeah, definitely first impression videos, usually you smell it on a piece of paper like I'm going to do today. You only get basically the top notes. You don't get much of the fragrance, and you don't get to enjoy it on your skin. So definitely this is a great tool that I go back to. Sometimes I'm wrong about the fragrance. Sometimes I only smelled the top notes and I didn't really talk about the quality of the fragrance. And sometimes I felt like it was great top notes, but then it fizzled when I was testing it out. So it's great to see what happens, but definitely test. Even if the fragrance kind of is bad or mundane to you from first sniff, keep re-sniffing it. And that's why I keep my samples. Even the ones that I felt are bad, I keep them in the back, and then I smell them months later, or even years later, and then out of nowhere it's a jewel. So definitely test. But let's get to it. This video is going to get really long because I got 32 bottles to sniff out. Let's start it off with the House of Montal. This time off I really wanted to grow my Montal collection. There's a few fragrances that I wanted to absolutely get. The 2 that I wanted to get were their leather-based fragrances. There's Oud Leather, and then there's Cuir d'Arabie. Oud Leather is actually harder to find than Cuir d'Arabie, and I got this one from Min, New York. This is Oud Leather. This is the big one. Leather-based fragrance. I absolutely wanted this fragrance. I've smelt it before. I had samples from both the leather-based fragrances from Montal. I love leather-based, tobacco-based fragrances. Darker fragrances are great. This one I believe smells like Tuscan leather, so it's very nice leather note. If you guys out there have smelled Tuscan leather, you'll know what I'm talking about. So Oud Leather, wow, outstanding, and one of the better Montals out there. Simply beautiful. Reminds me of the leather and Tuscan leather, of course. Actually, almost close to the same. Very strong, and a little will go a long way with this fragrance. So you are getting your money's worth as far as a longevity and projection. I really feel like this one does have it. It's just a gorgeous, pure leather note, and I absolutely love leather notes. And Oud Leather is simply gorgeous from the House of Montal. You can't go wrong with that one. Next is from the House of Kerosene. My man Kerosene, John, first and foremost. All love from the Robes 08 channel. You know how I feel about you. Great person, great nose, and fellow reviewer, somewhat, but now more of a parfumier. He was generous enough to send me his samples of his line last time off. I went overseas, I smelt his line, and I told him, your next release that you're going to be purchasing, I want the very first bottle. He was gracious enough, and this is what I love about John. He was gracious enough to be, okay, bottle's yours. I wanted it signed and I wanted bottle 1, and he did it for me. This is Whips and Roses. As you can see, the signature in the back and bottle 1 at the bottom. So I'm very proud and honored to have this from John. Utmost respect to him and his craft. I did not have a sample of this when I was overseas because he was working on it. I only had samples of his older fragrances. Whips and Roses, so nice pink bottle. Let's sniff this one out. I'm going to let you guys know what I feel about it. Really interesting scent. I'm very fresh up top. I've smelt roses in many fragrances before. You guys know this. I've got an array of rose-based fragrances in my collection. This combination of notes with the rose, I don't think has been done before. I could be wrong. I haven't smelled every rose-based fragrance on the market today, but I love authentic roses in my scents. You guys know, like a Rose Poivrée from a different company, authentic rose. I really like this one. This one, he did something really strange with it. You can see that he meshed some citruses right off the bat. I can smell citruses, and that's what makes it fresh. There might be other florals in here, not too sure, but there is definitely rose. But now the leather is coming in, and that's a good mix. Leather and rose, yeah. And the leather kind of gives it a masculine vibe. So I really think that this is more unisex. I don't know if this is a female for him or unisex. I'm assuming it's more of a unisex. But the florals keep it together. The florals is the main objective here. But definitely unisex. This kind of, I'm not good with giving you guys a picture, but I'll do it anyway. It really makes me think of a hot chick on a bike. A biker chick, you know, a big sexy redhead, well not big, but a sexy redhead biker chick. She just comes off her bike, she's hot, she's got, you know, a leather jacket, and she's maybe even wearing a bikini, let's say. She unzips the leather jacket, takes off her mask, big red hair, and she's wearing a rose-based fragrance, and you're just like, damn, this chick is hot. she's badass and she's hot. So that's what this reminds me of. Nicely done by Kerosene. I like it. I like it. Next, let's check out the next one. This one is from the House of Prada. Now, funny enough, you may not know, but when I first started out on YouTube, when I was getting interested, I think I bought Prada Amber. That was like my 4th video on YouTube. I stumbled upon this, I think on Base Notes of Fragrantica, that they had an exclusive, like a line only in their boutiques. And this one got my eye right away just because of my love for leather-based fragrances. This one had leather. It's called Cuir Ambre, so amber and leather. I was like, yeah, that is a great combo. Where can I get this? Funny enough, couldn't find it anywhere. Very hard to find. I put it on my eBay search, and it never sent me an email notification until this year. 3-4 years later, I finally got a notification that somebody had a bottle of this. They were selling like 2 or 3 of them at a fair price. It was like $100. I think these are like 120, by the way. This is a spray bottle, so you don't, well, it's not a spray bottle. You're gonna have to, I think I'm going to get a spray to put on here anyway. I'm gonna use a Q-tip to just get some of the scent here. But either way, very hard to find. I want to thank Al, Fragrance Fanatic, one that got me the bottle, because this guy was only shipping to the States. I really appreciate what you did for me, buddy. This is a blind buy, by the way. I get obsessed with fragrances like this. I know that it's going to be a great fragrance even before smelling it. This one, I knew it. Let's smell it. Oh yeah. This is gorgeous. Now, if you like amber-based fragrances and you like leather-based fragrances, this is the jackpot. Hard to find though, guys, so you're gonna have to look around. It only comes in a 30 ml splash. Rich leather, heavy resinous amber in here, very warm, absolutely amazing. Worth the wait, and very much worth the wait. And I was right on target with this one. I really felt like this was going to be the jewel from the Prada line in their boutiques, and I was absolutely right on the money. I love being right on the money. They should release this with the original men's line. I don't even care if it's going to be 120 bucks. I would buy it. It would be a great addition to their normal men's line. Something different from all those soapy scents that they have available. This one is dark, warm. This might even be a perfect 10 when I review it. I know I'm jumping the gun. I'm hyping, I know. We'll see what it does on my skin, but well worth the money and the time to find it. I really felt like that one was a great purchase for me. I am absolutely happy. I should have got more than 30 mils. I should have snatched up 2 bottles instead of 1. Unfortunately, very hard to find. It took me 3-4 years to find it. So if you find a Prada boutique that has it available, this line with this one, give me a shout out and I will get a bottle from you. I need to get a backup bottle of this stuff, and I need to get a spray bottle for this stuff. This is absolutely stunning juice if you like amber and leather. Let's get some coffee into me. All right. Next. All right, guys, next is from the house of Penhaligon's. This fragrance right here was getting lots of love in the YouTube community, on our Facebook groups. A lot of people were absolutely loving this fragrance, and it is from one of my favorite perfumiers of all time, De Chafour. So I definitely wanted to try this fragrance out. This is a absolute blind buy. I was jumping on the hype bandwagon, I would say, and this fragrance, of course, called Sartorial. Now, Penhaligon's, I did sniff out a few of their fragrances back in the day when I first started my niche journey. This is an old English fragrance house, and that's what most of their fragrances reminded me of. Old English guy, like well put together guy, but an old guy. And a lot of their fragrances are meshed together with notes that have been in the fragrance community for a long time, so they really felt like, I wouldn't say dated, but older gentleman-ish. So I was kind of taken aback. Like, I was like, should I purchase this? Like, I really wasn't really excited about this fragrance house. One of my favorite perfumiers did make this juice, De Chafour, of course. So I was kind of, I was like, whatever, hype, come on, let's jump on the hype bandwagon and let's smell this one. So Sartorial is my first Penhaligon's fragrance. I really like their presentation. The bottle looks great. Let's sniff this sucker up. And this is, let's smell this sucker and see what this gives me. And right off the bat, again, reminds me of an old English guy. Yeah, classic fougère. Definitely a fougère. It's got a barbershop-like clean. Think of Yves Gauche pour homme. Yeah, around that way. Powdery, clean. Kind of has like a little bit of spice to support it. It's supposed to evoke walking into a tailor shop. It actually gave me that feeling of old clothes. It's got a little metallic vibe to it. I think someone that has a taste of those old classic scents should try this out. If you like the Yves Gauches of the world, the Eau Sauvage of Dior. If you like your classic scents, it is quality, I'll be honest with you, but it doesn't excite me. These older fragrances that like it just doesn't excite me. You know, like Ambre Cuir from Prada excited me. Dark, resinous, beautiful. Sartorial, quality, yeah, boring. I just, old English, I just feel like I should have an English guy with a nice 3-piece suit and give that to him and be like, happy birthday. Alright, let's work on the 5th bottle. This is from the house of Byredo. I first stumbled upon Byredo perfumes when I don't know if it was in GQ or Details magazine, like 2 years back, I think, when I think Chandler Burr wrote a story. I'm pretty sure it was GQ, and he was recommending fragrances, and this was one of them. And I was like, Pulp, and this is the fragrance that I purchased, Pulp. And I was like, that sounds like something that is going to be really juicy, and it's going to be great for summer. I never heard of this fragrance house, so I was like, yeah, why not? This is a blind buy, by the way, guys. This is my first from the House of Byredo. Let's smell Pulp, and we'll see. We'll see what I feel about it. I know a lot of YouTube reviewers have been talking about this fragrance house, not Pulp per se, but they do like other fragrances from the house. I know I smelled a few in New York. They're oud-based fragrances, I believe. And I came, you know, I like them. I'm not sure if I would jump on this Byredo hype train, but let's smell Pulp. And oh yeah, named correctly. Just think about like the sour, it kind of reminds me of like pulp from like a grapefruit. I don't know if there's grapefruit in here, but it gives me like a sour, fruity vibe that you kind of get from like a grapefruit. It's watery, very strong fragrance. So this one, you're gonna have to, maybe less is more with this one. I really think this is a very strong fragrance. I can see this being a top summer hit for me. It might hit my top 20 niche. It's fresh, it's well done, and I really am not, how can I say, I'm not disappointed in this one. This is really well done. It's really in your face. It calms down after a while. So that initial blast was really like jarring a little bit. But once it calmed down on a piece of paper, this is very nice. I'm trying to think. I know grapefruit is the wrong fruit for this one. I'm not sure if they have grapefruit in it. I'll have to double check the notes, but I know I'm wrong. And when I see the note breakdown, I'll be like, that's what it smells like. But Pulp, really something that I would recommend to check it out for the summertime. Next, let's go with the House of Armani. This is, again, I love getting into these designer houses where they have fragrances for boutiques only. Very hard to find. This one, same thing as a Prada Cuir Ambre. This one I've been searching high and low for. The boutique, I went specifically New York. Steph can reiterate this. My wife, I made her walk or go around a lot of Armani boutiques in New York to find this certain fragrance, this one called Bois d'Incense. Wow, very hard to find. I've been looking high and low on eBay also, same thing. I was trying to find one with the box, I couldn't find it. This is actually just a tester. It came with a cap. Fortunately enough, this was somebody from the UK, I believe, was selling this on eBay. I finally jumped on it. I also want to get Oud Royale from them, that I find is very interesting. This Privé line, I really, you guys know my distaste for Armani, their designer line. Some are good, they're okay. But this Privé line, actually, this Bois d'Incense, I believe I was on Base Notes, and I finally found out Bois d'Incense, and Bois d'Incense is woods and incense. I'm like, hello. So I've been searching high and low. That's right up my alley. So this is, again, blind buy for me. And again, it's one of those that I was super excited about getting. Finally in this haul. Let's smell this one. Again, very hard to find, and I'm hoping that this one doesn't disappoint, because I've been searching high and low for it. Let's see. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. Again, I'm right on the money. I love being on the money. The Prada, the Armani, both good, solid fragrances. This one, tons of incense, tons of pepper. There's woods in the background. There's, I think, vetiver. Reminds me of Avignon from Comme des Garçons. So if you don't like Avignon, you know, that churchy incense feel, you just might not like this. This one, much more complex than the Comme des Garçons. There's a lot more going on. I love it. I feel like I'm in a church burning the incense. The church is in the middle of woods. It's dark, it's deep. I can't wait to dive into this one. There's a huge hit of pepper, so you might not like pepper. This one's got a huge blast of it. Lots of incense, woods, absolutely gorgeous. Happy, very happy with that purchase. Next, Tom Ford, from the House of Tom Ford. I purchased 2 bottles. I wanted to bulk up my Tom Ford line. I got several from the line, added a few more here. I decided to add the ones that were getting a lot of love. I wanted to get spring and summer, even though I got burned on Azure Lime. I decided, okay, Neroli Portofino and Lavender Palm are getting lots of love right now. They're both summer and spring based. One, of course, based on the note of lavender, and the other one on Neroli. I'm actually starting to like Neroli as a note for the summertime and springtime. And lavender, well, I'm never a huge fan of lavender. Let's start it off with Lavender Palm. Here's the bottle, 50 mils. These, again, very pricey. Both blind buys, Lavender Palm and Neroli Portofino. I was just jumping on the hype bandwagon. By the way, Lavender Palm. Reason why I got this, I'll be straight and forward. Miguel, Hirozuka, he's got a gift, guys. He does it well. When he hypes something, he's like, yeah, why not make it #1 on one of my top 10 or top 15 lists and put like a bunch of fragrances that everybody loves and then put this one as #1, maybe get a fragrance that people don't know about a little bit, and say that you absolutely love it, put it at #1, and people are going to jump on it. Miguel, you know what? I highly respect Miguel, and ever since that he let me know about Tonka Imperial, I will be purchasing fragrances that he absolutely loves. I love the passion as a reviewer in Miguel. He gets a lot of flack for fragrances that he hypes. You know what? He has passion. I don't see hype as hype. I see it as passion. I have passion for fragrances. If I love it, I'm going to say it on the camera. I love it. Am I hyping it up? No, I love it. I'm showing my passion, and that's why I respect Miguel as a person and as a reviewer. He doesn't let people get to him. If you want to blind buy what he absolutely loves, that is your fault if you don't like it. So hype, I really feel as a passion. I don't want reviewers holding back just because, oh, I don't want to hype it up and people may not like it. You know what? Show your passion in fragrance reviews, and I will respect you. And Miguel, as a man and as a reviewer, I absolutely respect him. Lavender Palm, his #1. I blind bought it because of him. I will continue to be blind buying. And for me, when I'm saying fragrances are good, great, I'm excited about them, it's me, my own personal opinion. I'm not hyping anything up, I'm just excited. I got passion, I love these fragrances, I can't wait to wear them. And that's what it should be. It shouldn't be hype. But that's another video. This is running long. Alright guys, enough chit chat. The hype thing, that's another video. Let's smell out Lavender Palm. This is for you, Miguel. Let's smell this. This again, blind buy. Let's see what it gives me. Again, I'm not a huge fan of lavender. You got to take that into note when I'm smelling this. Okay. Miguel, what are you doing to me? You gotta be hyping other stuff. This is... Again, I'm putting in factor price, quality, and the notes that are in this fragrance. I'm judging it by that. Price, is it worth it? To me, no. Lavender, and even more lavender in this one. It's got a little bit of citrus up top. It's balmy. When I mean balmy, I really mean kind of like creamy-ish. It's fresh, not too fresh. It's got a freshness to it, but again, I think this would be more of a springtime fragrance than a summer. I don't really see myself wearing Lavender Palm in the dead heat, just because of the creaminess to it. It has like a creamy vibe to it. It's nice, but a little bland. Just to be honest, bland. It feels like it's missing something. Not a huge fan of lavender. You guys know this. It makes me think of like fabric cleaner or something like that. This one's well done. It doesn't really remind me of like a fleecy or dishwashing cleaner. It almost has like a tropical vibe to it now, kind of like coconut-ish. Not a huge fan of these spring-summer releases from Tom Ford. You guys know this. They should really stick to winter and fall scents. There's a little bit of mossiness to it now that the smell's in my nose here. It's okay, but I don't see myself. Well, I did purchase it for $200, so yeah, I don't recommend spending $200. If I had the money for a Tom Ford fragrance, this would be probably at the bottom of the list of Azure line. Not really. Again, I want to get excited when I'm spending $100+ on a fragrance. That one is just there. It feels blah. No hate on Miguel. You know, we all have opinions. You know I love you. Great reviewer. Next, Neroli Portofino. I got this sweet aqua bottle. Wow, beautiful. Neroli Portofino again, blind buy, same thing. I'm not really hyped up on it. On these spring summer Tom Fords, I wasn't really expecting much from it either. And let's smell this one. This is more my speed. It's got a little more punch to it. The Neroli notes right there in the forefront. And I actually felt like this was going to be a disappointment, and actually I'm wrong. And I usually judge fragrances before I purchase them, especially blind buys, and then smell them and I'll be like, I was right, I was wrong, I'm wrong. This is probably the better Tom Ford out of the three that I own now: Lavender Palm, Azure Lime, and Neroli. I think Neroli is the better one of the three by far, by like a long shot. The nose behind this is the same as the Artisan fragrance from John Varvatos, and if you guys remember well, I felt that the citrus was done really, really wrong in Artisan. I felt like it smelled like Orange Pledge. This one, beautiful Neroli note, and it's funny how the Parfumier with a good budget can do a good citrus, with a bad budget does a horrible citrus. It's citrusy with a handful of soapiness. It really reminds me of Mugler Cologne, Prada Infusion d'Homme, that type of feel, but lots of orange blossom, really nice. A nice surprise after the palm. Yeah, really, really nice from Tom Ford. This one's been growing on me ever since I purchased it. I've been actually wearing it quite a bit since I got it in May. So really enjoying the Neroli Portofino, which was a huge surprise. And again, don't judge a brand by fragrances that you purchased in the past, just because I think Tom Ford should stick to fall and winter-based fragrances. The darker stuff, Neroli just actually came out as a surprise. Next is from the house of Le Labo, and I just reviewed Rose 31 and I decided, you know what, I gotta get more Le Labos, and I brought a bunch of samples overseas with me this time off, and I really like their darker fragrances, but I wanted something for spring and summer since it's now. And I remember Bergamot 22 last time I tested these in 2009, and I felt like I was impressed but not enough to purchase it, but I decided to pull the trigger anyway. I didn't have a sample this time overseas, so I kind of bought it knowing that I felt like I remember it being solid, but I don't remember if I really, really enjoyed it. So Bergamot 22, let's see. Obviously, I've been actually really enjoying the notes of Neroli and Bergamot in fragrances for spring and summer right now. So if this is a quality Bergamot, then we have no problems here. So vetiver, there's some greenness to it. Vetiver and Bergamot combo. That's all I can smell right now. Sparkling citrus start on this one. Backed up by the vetiver. Very authentic, fresh Bergamot. This one is going to be perhaps one of my top ones for summer. I really, really like this. Now, I've been hearing a lot of problems with this, with the longevity and projection. Again, first impressions video, I can't really say much about it. This is more saying how the top note is, and this one's actually absolutely very well done by Le Labo. And I'm happy I got a bottle of that. So joining my bottle of Rose 31 is Bergamot 22, so I got 2 Le Labos now. I'm hoping to get a few more this time off to bulk up my fall and winter for Le Labo. Next is, let's take a look at the Hermes Essence line. I purchased 3 bottles this time off. I got 2 in duty free in Munich, and I got 1 from actually Miguel. Thanks Miguel for getting me Ambre Narguilé in New York. I wanted a bottle, they were sold out, and he got me a bottle in Toronto. So I really appreciate Miguel doing the legwork on that. Thank you very much. But let's sniff out the ones I got in duty free. Now in duty free, you got to keep in mind I already got Vetiver Tonka, I got Ambre Narguilé, so I smelled the rest of the line and I was like, okay, I'm getting 2 bottles. Let's see which ones impress me. I decided to go with their newest fragrance, Santal Masoya. Santal. When you think sandalwood, you're thinking, most people, if you really don't know what sandalwood smells like, you're going to think this is a darker fragrance. But sandalwood is basically a really nice, tame, woody scent. Very, very nice for, I like to wear sandalwood fragrances in the spring or fall. Nice, soft wood. And let's smell this one. And I really like what Jean-Claude Elena does with his fragrances. Let's smell this one. Creamy. Oh man. Beautiful creamy sandalwood. Some sweetness in here, just enough, just a perfect blend of woods. Almost smells like creamy milk. I swear there's figs in here. I'm not sure if you put figs in here. I'll have to look at the note breakdown if you did. Wow. There's like a watery quality that figs brings to set. I really think there's figs. I'm putting it on camera now. There's figs in here. There's a little bit of sweetness. Has a coconut-like feel, so there's got to be figs in here because figs kind of give out a coconut feel sometimes. It's not a dark woody scent as you'd think, like, oh, it's a sandal-based, it's woods. No, it's something perfect for fall and spring, maybe even for a summer night. I think this would be great for a summer night. Simply outstanding. Jean-Claude, again, master of his craft. Let's go to the next one that I got in duty-free in Munich. This is their pepper-based one, Poivre Samarcande. Poivre, let's smell this one now. I hear a lot of buzz online about this one, that longevity and projection is crap. But again, I'm not judging on that. I'm judging it on smell with this video. And you'll have to wait for the full review to let you guys know what I feel about it. Poivre, again, this one really impressed me in Munich when I was smelling this whole line. Spicy, woody, earthy. Obviously, if you like pepper, I think Atta, if you're watching, you will love this if you don't have it already. This one has spice woods, well blended. And this is why I buy these Jean-Claude fragrances. Well blended, they really show their face after numerous wearings. That it's basically art. This is art. This is gorgeous. But I hear that it's fleeting, and we'll see. Alright, bottle number 12. This is again the one that you guys probably know about. If you don't, where have you been? This is one of the all-stars from the Hermès Essence line, Arme Narguilé. I finally got a bottle. My only bottle of this was a 15 milliliter bottle, which was good enough, but I really wanted to get a full bottle of this. I smelt this numerous times. I just finally got a full bottle of it. This was just overdue. So I've smelt this so many times. I've worn it so many times. Apple pie. If you like apple pie, you're gonna like this fragrance. The apple in here is basically tuned up really high. Lots of cinnamon-like spice. You can just picture the cinnamon, the apples, the honeyed sweetness. Yeah, the crust of the pie. It just really amazing for fall. Some people hate that, you know, you don't want to be too foodie, you don't want to smell like an apple pie, but this one, man, yes, gorgeous, happy to get a full, huge bottle of this. Arme Narguilé, great. Talking about apple pie, let's take a look at Bois 1920, Sushi Imperial. This one also compared to apple pie-ish vibe. This brand, I was always looking at it. I never really sampled it. This is a blind buy again. I never really sampled this brand. I really wanted a bottle from the brand, but never got to it. Once I heard a lot of love for this one, and I think it was the Facebook groups, I decided to pull the trigger, blind buy. And let's see if I regret it or not. I'm pretty sure I won't if it smells like apple pie, just like Arme Narguilé. So let's smell this one. Okay, different take on an apple pie vibe, but I do smell it. I think this one's a little more I wouldn't say more complex than an Arme Narguilé, but it feels like I got a little more than the apple pie. There's citrus in here. There's cinnamon in here, and that's what reminds me of the apple pie. And there's apple in here. It almost smells like green apples more than red apples. It's got like almost a barbershop-like feel to it, also like shaving cream. Nutmeg plays a big part in here. It reminds me of Christmas. There's a huge wallop of green apples in here. Very nicely done. Sushi Imperial. Happy with that blind buy. Can't wait to delve into that one and see what else it gives me. It seems to be more of a complex frag than Arme Narguilé. Not saying that Arme Narguilé isn't complex, but very nicely done. Okay, let's attack the Artisan House, l'Artisan Parfumeur. I wanted to get several bottles from the line. I wanted to bulk up my Artisan lineup. I believe I have over 10 bottles from the line. I'm adding another 5. I decided to go crazy this time around. and I still got lots to buy from this line, but this is a good start. Let's take a look at this one. This one was a fragrance that I've been wanting to get for a while. This was a limited edition summer fragrance, and then they discontinued it, of course. I was lucky enough to find it on eBay, actually. Somebody was selling a huge bottle, and that was the only one I could find after like 6 months or 8 months of searching. So I jumped on it, and this is 200 milliliters of Ananas Fizz. And of course, as you can see, it's got Ananas Fizz. Of course, ananas means pineapple, and as you can see, it's got the little pineapple top here. Kind of funny looking. They do have 100 milliliter bottles that actually don't look as funny as this one. But let's smell it. A lot of people love the note of pineapple since you know, Aventus came out in the game, and people are looking to get pineapple notes. So I felt like this one was going to be interesting, and see what I'm getting from this one. So Ananas Fizz limited edition release from Artisan Parfumeur. Pineapple and grapefruit. Right off the bat, very watery, very fruity. If you love pineapple in your fragrances, this is one for you right off the bat. Very fruity, almost tropical-like. Very bright, uplifting. I like this one. It's simple though, very simple. It doesn't look like there's much backbone to it. It's going to be strictly a summer scent that I could probably wear in the high heat because there's not much backbone to it. As you can see, it's like very transparent, bright, uplifting. I'm assuming this is going to last 1 to 2 hours on my skin and then die, just because I kind of like it. It doesn't seem like it's going to have much staying power because it doesn't have much backbone to it. Ananas Fizz from Artisan Parfumeur. Next is a Rockstar from L'Artisan's line. This one called Zing. This is a fragrance that I should have purchased right away from the line. I love this fragrance, and it's a shame that it's in this fragrance haul. It should have been in a fragrance haul 2-3 years ago when I first purchased like Timbuktu, Tea for Two, and the Zonka. Zing. When I first smelled this, a lot of people will attest to this, I didn't know what I was getting from it. Very complex scent, very different scent. But now, smelling it now, I had a sample overseas and I almost swore there. I almost fell off my chair. I was like, what the hell? This is absolutely amazing. Everything I love in a dark fragrance lately is in this fragrance, is in this bottle right here. This is absolutely one of my better buys in this haul. It's got wood, it's got leather, it's got an animalistic feel, which I really like in my fragrances now. Some sweetness, it's a little smoky. It's gorgeous, and to be honest, I think this is the best from L'Artisan Parfumeur line. As far as complexity, as far as overall juice, I really think that this is going to be the fragrance that I absolutely... Tea for Two is great from them. They have actually a lot of great fragrances, but Zing is wow, just wow. Next, I jumped into the, I got 3 more Artisan fragrances I'm going to tackle now. I jumped into the Fragrance Net hype. Fragrance Net had Artisan bottles for really dirt cheap, and I decided, you know what, I already purchased 2 Artisan fragrances. I didn't really want to jump onto it, but I was like, you know what, this is, I can't, you know, overlook this. I got to get these fragrances. So I purchased 3. I wasn't too greedy like some people. But I got 3 bottles. I actually got them in the mail. Some people didn't get them and stuff like that, and that's Fragrance Net is like that. But either way, I got mine. They're older bottles. As you can see, this is my Méchant Loup. This is the next one I'm going to be testing out. As you can see, it's an older bottle by the cap. This is the new caps, this is the old ones. So this was probably a store that shut down and had old stock, and Fragrance Net was selling it for them. Or purchase the stock and then selling it on their website. Méchant Loup is the next one. Let's smell Méchant Loup. Méchant Loup means, this is French of course, it means, translation, bad wolf, basically. So I was thinking with the name that it was going to be, you know, animalistic. No. I had a sample of this overseas when I bought it, and it's really nutty. It's a hazelnut-based fragrance. If you guys watch my Very Irresistible by Givenchy fragrance review, this is what I'm talking about, the Méchant Loup. If you're looking for a hazelnut fragrance, this one has it. Real nutty, almost honeyed nuts, hazelnuts. There's some woods in here, a little bit of sandalwood, so not too out there, not too harsh. I really think it has like almost a rustic feel, not animalistic at all. I really think nicely done. I really think more of a spring fall. I don't think it has enough oomph to it to be a Canadian winter fragrance. So it's kind of tame, to be honest with you. So nutty, a little bit of sweetness with the honey, and sandalwood combo. Nicely done. Next is a Jean-Claude Elena fragrance. Actually, I bought two Jean-Claude Elena fragrances. This one, when I was early in my journey, just because I love Elena as a fragrance, as a parfumier, obviously I checked this one out, waft that in. Smells like peanut butter. So if you like peanut butter, if you want to smell like peanut butter, this one's a great one for you. The reason why I didn't purchase it earlier in my fragrance career on YouTube was just because I have no real reason to smell like peanut butter. I'm not a huge fan of it. This is very nutty. To be honest, it's got milky woods, but then it makes you think of peanut butter. Like, that's the first thought in your head. But if I'm trying to dissect it, it's got milky woods in it. Include the toast. It's nutty peanut butter with the toast. Don't forget the toast, because it kind of has that yeast-like smell. I'm just smelling art. I don't know how the hell Elena did it. How he did this is stunning. Just meshing notes together and make it smell like peanut butter is art. I don't know what else to say. You know, if you like that, that's your thing. This is absolutely great. Next is another Jean-Claude Elena fragrance from L'Artisan Parfumeur. This again from the Fragrance Net Hall, old bottles. Juice is quality though, so they're not expired. And this is Ambre Extrême, extreme amber, basically. I believe this is a feminine from L'Artisan Parfumeur. I blind bought this just thinking, okay, Jean-Claude Elena, amber. I'm on an amber kick, so might as well purchase this. Especially, I think it was like 40 bucks to purchase it, so I was like, there's no reason why not. Might as well get it. Just sniffing the paper right now, just like doing this. This is very extreme, so it's really out there, and I can smell the amber right away. So it's amber based and it's extreme. Yeah, it's definitely strong. Oh yeah, this is amber in your face. I'm not smelling much more than amber, to be honest with you, so it's, I don't know if it's going to give me more than that once it dries down, but it's amber in your face, a little bit of spice surrounding it. Doesn't seem too complex, but sometimes a good amber is all you need, and amber is a complex note by itself. It's rich, it's heavy, it's warm, dark even, well put together by Elena. If you like amber-based fragrances, this one's for you. Not too complex. So if you've got a lot of amber-based fragrances, this one's just going to give you that straight-up amber note, a little bit of spice with it. Let's go to the house of Nasomatto. Now, Nasomatto, I felt like I was done purchasing Nasomatto fragrances when I purchased Black Afgano, of course, and then I got Duro and Pardon because my man Miguel, and I was like, okay, I think I'm pretty much done. I went to New York, I smelled Absinthe and Hindu Grass, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get Absinthe for my spring list because I really felt like it was a nice green fragrance for the spring. So I was like, okay, I'll get Absinthe and then I'm done. And funny enough, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna get Hindu Grass too. So I purchased Absinthe and Hindu Grass this time off. Just trying to recollect what I smelled back in New York from both of them. So let's go with Hindu Grass first. Let's go with this one. Hindu Grass, let's smell this one. And again, I didn't really have a sample of this. I only smelled it in New York for a little bit and I was like, I don't know, a patchouli based fragrance. But let's smell it. Yeah, heavy patch, very green, earthy, dry, yet green. There's some tobacco to back it up. And to be honest, when I first sniffed in New York, I felt it was just a simple patchouli fragrance and I didn't really bother to look twice. I didn't really want to buy it. I'm actually enjoying it a little bit more now, especially for the spring. Nicely done by Nasomatto. But again, not one of their best compositions, but definitely worth sniffing. Next is Absinthe. This one I wanted to get in New York. I think this one's a lot safer than Hindu Grass as a buy. And let's smell this one again with that green theme, Absinthe. as Hindu grass is also. And this one, green, earthy again, not as earthy as Hindu grass, of course. Easier to love than Hindu. It's not as dark. It's almost an herbal green to it. Vetiver. I can smell vetiver in this. And I think this one, again, I gotta say, much safer than the other one. Well blended and safe. From Nesselmato, really nice absinthe. I like it. And that's bottle number 20 of my haul. Let's go to 21. Gatelain. I'm on a Gatelain kick as of yet. I purchased actually some pretty pricey stuff here, these three. I purchased 3 bottles from the Gatelain house. Derby, Dandy, and Cuita Beluga. So it's a pretty pricey haul, this one. I'm really into these exclusive Gatelains right now. Really into it. I really want to get more Gatelains, especially the feminines, the classics out there, Shalimar, etc. I need to get Abbey Rouge for men. But let's smell this one. Cuita Beluga. I actually wanted to purchase this in New York, just didn't have the time. So I think Miguel purchased this for me. I'm trying to remember, I think so. He purchased it for me and sent it to me. Cuita Beluga, this Gatelain vanilla-like feel that they have in these fragrances, kind of like Tonka Imperial has. Cuita Beluga has it. It gets me every time. I love it. Anything they have with this vanilla that they have is great, like Spiritueuse Double Vanille. It's got like a boozy, it's rich, well balanced. There's some leather in here, but you know, it's not like that dark smoky leather that you get in some fragrances. There's a little bit of amber. It's really close. It would be closer to Spiritueuse Double Vanille than anything else. Almost uncanny. The leather in here is subtle. Don't expect a huge leather note like Tuscan leather. Creamy white leather jacket. That's what this reminds me of. Like a creamy leather jacket. A white jacket, yeah. So that one, Cuita Beluga, like it. I knew that I was going to like it. If you don't like powdery vanilla-like fragrances, probably not something up your alley. I like it. It kind of gives me like a boozy like vanilla, to be honest with you, with leather. A nice combo. Let's check out Dandy. This is Arsène Lupin Dandy. This was like kind of like a bottle split. The person took a little bit of juice. I didn't mind, and I got the rest. And this one is from the Arsène Lupin line, of course. Dandy. This is a blind buy. I never smelt this before. Let's smell it. Very different opening. Sandalwood. It's woody yet smooth. Creamy. A little bit of smoke. A little bit of greenness in it. It's actually right now developing on paper. Very interesting. Can't really describe it in words. I'm just getting, you know, sandalwood, woody, smooth, a little bit of smoke. I can't wait to get my nose around it and see what I get from it. Dandy. Not disappointed. Not too sure how to describe it. Am I excited about it? Yeah, but not super excited. Good, not great type of thing. All right, next is the one that I've been really excited about. I've never smelt this before. I know the hype on it. I know the love about it. I don't think any YouTubers have mentioned it before, but this is Derby from Gatelain. This is from, as you can see, this is the newish bottle with the wooden, kind of looks like a he wood bottle, right? And let's smell Derby. I'm excited about this because I hear this is one of the better leather-based fragrances. This one was pretty pricey too. Let's smell it. Derby. Oh man. Man, oh man. Leather. Leather, yes. Nutty, woody, green. Floral, citrus. A lot going on right now. A lot. I can tell this is going to be complex. Very nice. Oh man. Derby. 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10 right now, right out of the bottle. 10 out of 10. Done. Yeah, done. 10. Give him the prize. yeah, hype is worth on Derby. You haven't heard much on YouTube. You're hearing it first. Nice. Not for everybody. Very complex though. Very nicely done. A nice leather-based fragrance. Can't wait to delve into that one. Actually, try it out. All right, let's get to the By Kilians. All right, guys, the By Kilian line. I got 3 bottles. I only have 1 fragrance bottle before this from the By Kilian line. I felt like Back to Black was the only one that was bottle worthy for me. And I wasn't really planning to purchase any of them, to be honest with you. And I just stumbled upon these ones in the Min, New York. I just want to thank Chad and everybody at Min for the great deal that they gave me on these By Kilian fragrances. I'm not going to show you the whole presentation, just the bottle here. I got 3 of them. Back to Black, the review's done. The testing's done, so I decided why not get a few more. It would be great for my channel and my collection. So I got a couple other ouds. Their regular line really, honestly, the By Kilian line doesn't really impress me much. I really think it's more packaging than anything. The juice is something that I'm not really excited about, their juices. The oud line interests me more than anything, even though it's not really an oud line to me. So I purchased 2, I got 3. I got Straight to Heaven, which I felt was interesting. That's a blind buy. I got Incense Oud and Amber Oud. Actually, both of those I smelt when I was at Min, and I felt like they were interesting enough to purchase, especially with the deal that they gave me. I had to jump on it. So let's smell them. First and foremost, Straight to Heaven. Straight to Heaven, here's a rum-based fragrance, and that's why I jumped on it. I was like, I don't recall having a sample of that. Because I would probably jump on a rum-based fragrance. But let's smell it. Straight to Heaven. Rum, yes. Cedar. Lots of cedar in here backing it up. So lots of woods. I think there's nutmeg in here. Patchouli. Very dark. Boozy. Lots of backbone to it. Lots of woods. A little bit of spice. Gorgeous. I like it. I like Straight to Heaven. Who would have thought? Good, solid By Kilian fragrance right there. Next, let's take a look at Amber Oud. Min didn't have the regular bottle. They just had the special edition one with little diamonds and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll get that one. So Amber Oud, let's smell this one. Amber Oud. Let's smell it. And sweet vanilla. Starts off really sweet. It gave me like a French vanilla vibe here. This is what I'm getting, like French vanilla. You know how you get like those bottles that you can put in your coffee, French vanilla. That's actually one of my favorites. So this is nice. Creamy in a way. It's warm. The amber, of course, is giving it a little bit of warmness. And to be honest, it feels like it's missing a few things here. It just seems bare, minimalistic for, let's say, an amber and oud based fragrance. It feels like it's missing a lot. It feels really tame for what it is. So as far as the price tag for these are like $400 for a bottle. If you want to get a bottle of this with the fancy bottle, of course. And for the price tag, not worth it, to be honest with you. But again, solid, but not worth the price, right? Next is Incense Oud. Let's smell this one. I think this is the one that I was going to get next after my Back to Black. I was going to actually purchase this full retail, but with the Min coupon code going on, I had to jump on this, and this is the one that I really wanted from the By Kilian line. I just bought another 2 bottles, might as well, right? Incense Oud, lots of incense. I remember, tons of spice. Oh man, lots of incense in here. Again, these oud-based fragrances from By Kilian, I haven't smelled oud in them from these sniffs at all. None. Lots of incense, tons of spice. Almost like a tea-like spice, lots of cardamom. Very interesting scent, and it was the one that I was actually excited about, like I said earlier. Burning incense beside rose petals, spice in a sermon at church. That's what it reminds me of. By Kilian's Incense Oud. We're going to be tackling next the Xerjoff line. Alright, Xerjoff. All right, the Zerjoff line. This is the first on my channel. I was holding back on this line just because a lot of their fragrances that I tested were more for spring and summer, so I wanted to buy them in this haul, which are Kobe in 1861. Actually, 1861 was a blind buy. Kobe was the one I wanted to purchase last haul, but instead I got Agonist instead of this one. But either way, this is the first on my channel, Zerjoff line, getting a lot of love on YouTube. I'm getting lots of love on Facebook. A lot of people are loving this line. Huge fragrance line. Quality juices. Let's smell out 1861, which is this bottle right here. Lots of detail on the bottles. Quality, as far as what I smelled from the line, very nicely done. 1861 is actually the cheap one from the brand. Let's smell it. Mint, lime, great lemon blast. The citrus in these Zerjoffs are very natural, well blended, very cooling, quality citrus. And like I was saying in my niche top 20 for spring, when I mentioned this one in Kobe, I was like, you know, it all depends on your budget and what you want from a quality citrus. This is a step above from any other citrus that I've smelled before. Quality, bright, hot summer day, I wouldn't mind wearing this. Very, very nicely done. Next is Kobe. This is the one that brought me to the line Zerjoff. Beautiful presentation. You guys, once I do a full review, you're going to see the full bottle. Absolutely gorgeous. This is I believe, a neroli based fragrance, Kobe. A little bit of backbone to it. I really feel like this might not be best for summer, maybe summer nights. But it's got neroli. Great for spring. Orange blossom. Clean, powdery, soapy, smooth woods to complement it. It really did remind me of neroli Portofino in a way. And I really feel like this one has way more backbone than 1861. So if you're looking for a summer scent, go for 1861. Kobe's more of a spring, fall-like scent. But wow, nicely done. Kobe, absolutely gorgeous. Very happy with those two purchases, and you'll see in a few more hauls that Zerjoff line is going to get a little more love from me. I'm gonna be purchasing more from them. Next is my Creeds. Alright guys, time to finish up this haul with my last 4 Creeds. These are all from exclusive lines. Funny enough, I wasn't really interested in this exclusive lines from Creed just because of the price tag. These are $400, $500, $600 a flacon, and they come in flacons, so I really like my bottles to have sprayers. If they came in 4-ounce bottles, I'd purchase them, but I kind of stayed away from them just because of that. And just recently when I went to New York, I was like, okay, I gotta get a couple of these. And finally, I got in touch with a fellow splitter, Mr. Ray Ortega. He is the official splitter of the Robes Away channel. If you want his information, inbox me. He's gonna get me somewhere, something, so you guys can contact him if you want maybe some of these juices that you're interested in from the Creed line or something else. He's a great splitter, and you're gonna see his the way he does it. I got the bottles because that's what I wanted. When I contacted him, I was like, okay, I'm interested in the exclusive line, but I want the bottles, and I want this amount of juice, 60 mils to 100 mils. I don't want that much juice. I think it's a waste of money. And he's like, great. And he was great to work with. Why? Because no questions asked. I was like, I want Windsor. Okay, how much do you want? I want 60 mils. Ordered the bottle right away. He didn't even ask if anybody else wanted to split with me. He just did it. And I got the bottles right away. Great presentation. So absolutely thumbs up to Ray Ortega. Great splitter, great person. Absolutely love doing splits. He's fair. His prices are great. So let's get to it. 3 out of these 4 bottles are splits from him, and you'll see the bottles. And the other one, Spice and Wood, actually came with a sprayer, so I actually just purchased that one. So let's get to it. First and foremost, the first one was Sélection Verte. This is what it comes in. Again, too much juice for me. A bottle with no sprayer. Just nothing for me. I just want this for presentation when I do a review. This is what it came with. Ray makes this for you with a sprayer. Perfectly done. I got 100 mils of this one. This is a mint-based fragrance. Already made a top 20 list at number 20 for my spring niche. So it's doing very well already. Hasn't even been unboxed and made a top 20 list. Again, of course, it's not my first impression of it, but I'll let you guys know. Very well done mint and citrus combo. Mint and citrus should be in more fragrances. Citrus-based fragrances should throw a little bit of mint in there. A good mint will really uplift the fragrance. They just blend so well, and with this Creed Sélection Verte, this is such a great opening. Transparent, clean, watery. Everything I'm asking for a spring or summer scent, this has it. Probably longevity is going to be poor just because it's so thin. It doesn't really have that much backbone to it. I don't know, once it dries down it might give me a little bit more, but very nice mint and citrus combo from Sélection Verte. Next is the one that I didn't get from Ray just because it has a spray top. This is Spice and Wood. As you can see, I just got a little bit of the juice. I had an eBayer that contacted me, and he's buying all these exclusives, and he said, well, I don't really need the bottle. I'll take most of the juice, and I'm kind of sad because I didn't get enough juice, I think. Probably wanted like a half a bottle of this, because this Spice and Wood, this one, I don't know if I smelt it in New York. I don't think I did. And I know a lot of people, I just remember that one time that they had Fragcom, that they were like, it smells like spice, it smells like wood. I wouldn't pay that much for it. So I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to blind buy Spice and Wood. But I got a good price for it. I think it was like, I don't know, $100, $200 to get that much juice. And that's good enough for me. Let's smell it. And oh shit, a Creed for fall for once. I just had to put that in there because I have a hard time finding a good Creed fragrance for fall and winter. And this one, yeah, finally, the woods are the main attraction in Spice and Wood. The spice are, to me, pretty mild. Makes me think of a fall day in Canada with the dry leaves, perhaps some firewood burning in the background. Warming. There's a little bit of citrus that I felt, a little bit of pop here, maybe a little bit of fruit in the background, but both of those are in the background. The Spice and the Wood are the main attraction, like they said in that Fragcom video. But I'd say the woods is the big winner in here, and I really feel like this is actually great fragrance for a cool spring day. Actually, this is my scent of the day today, so I cheated a little bit. I'm really enjoying this fragrance, to be honest with you guys, for spring and fall. Spice and Wood, actually a good one from Creed. Next, let's go with the, I don't know if this is a feminine, I'm not too sure. I don't know if it's a unisex or feminine, but this is Jardin d'Amalfi. Again, this is a Ray Ortega. I got the bottle. Looks like the Spice and Wood bottle, except it doesn't have the sprayer, unfortunately. And he gave me this. This is a 60 ml of it. This one, I did a video with Al on this, I believe. And again, like I said, I was really interested in these exclusive lines, and I'm happy that I am getting bottles. Jardin d'Amalfi, a great springtime fragrance that I'm feeling from wearing this. Fruit, citruses off the top, sparkling, lots of tangerines in here. And surprisingly, when I've been wearing this, I've worn it a few times since getting it in May, and surprisingly the fruit and citruses, the tangerines, stay quite a while in this fragrance. Like, I mean, probably the whole life of it. You'll not be disappointed in this fragrance if you like the top note, because I think it's going to stay the whole time. Again, I got to test on this one, but I really like it. Jardin d'Amalfi. And last but not least, let's go with the one that I was most impressed with in New York. A man, Julio, New York Fragrance Blog. We miss you. He knows what I'm talking about when I smelt this one. This is Windsor. It comes in this bottle, this flacon, like Sélection Verte. And this is what Ray Ortega gave me. Windsor, a little bottle like this. And as you can see, the juice is much darker than most of the other stuff. So is it going to be a darker fragrance? Now, I remember smelling this back in January in the shop, and I remember rose and pine. I remember that, and I remember I really liked it, and that was the one that really set it apart from all the other ones. I really wanted that one first. So let's smell it. Rose, pine. Very uplifting start. Not what I was thinking about. Eucalyptus off the bat. Just uplifting. It has like kind of like what mint has. Eucalyptus has the same thing. just a breath of fresh air, like almost like eating a Halls. Like it gives you that cooling vibe. There's a gin and lime combo in here. There's lots of lime. Very invigorating. You can smell some of the pine. I remember getting more rose out of the one in New York. I'm not sure why I'm not getting as much rose in here. It's more uplifting and cooling than I remember it, as I recall. I don't remember this much lime or eucalyptus. Yeah, when I smelled in New York, I thought it was much louder than this. This is actually more tame, like Creeds do. You know, I felt with the dark juice, I don't know. I felt like it was going to be something else. I can't really smell the rose now, but I'm sure it's going to peek through the mid. I think it's a mid note anyway. I don't know, maybe the Windsor bottle was a older bottle in the New York, or this one's an older bottle. Either way, well done though. I really like the lime and eucalyptus and the pine. I'm starting to smell the rose peeking through. So I guess just give it time and it should. I think this is the first time I sprayed this Windsor bottle, so we'll see. But there's my haul, guys. Running really long, so hopefully you enjoyed it. See you guys.